It's 1 minute to the start of the the IMOCA60 and the Class 40 and the Figaro 2s, and we've just worked our way down the line out towards the mainland end of the line, and it's interesting to see that a lot of the IMOCA60s set their Genicas very early. They saw what happened with the big multi-hulls and how difficult it was to get to the line, and they've set themselves up with their Genica sets and their Code Zero set already. But with 30 seconds to go, they've actually started further down the line where there's just it's smoother water, there's a little bit more breeze, and they can ghost along. And I wouldn't mind betting that they've actually, well, maybe I was about to say they might actually overhaul the multi-hulls in the early bit, because if the breeze is going to come from anywhere, it's going to come from this end of the line. And we've got 10 seconds to go until that start. There's a lot more of them closer up on the line, which you can probably clearly see from where you are down there. Yep. There goes the gun. Oh, that doesn't sound very good. That sounded like someone was over to me.
Yep, there's a second gun there on the start of the IMOCA60s and Class 40s.
So someone will need to turn back and clear themselves from the line, otherwise they'll be carrying a penalty, and you don't want to be doing that at the beginning of a 600-mile offshore race.
It might be Redshift, which is still coming back the other way to get over the line. Redshift 56. But just passing her going the other way is USA 54.
Yeah, it does look like Dragon USA 54 has made a good start down at the on the island side of the line. Very similar to the Fado start in the multi-hulls. So she looks like she's going to lead the Class 40s out. And I think you're right. I think it is Redshift who is actually probably one of the Figaros who's over the line at the start and is really struggling to get back on course side, and has been trying to get back on the course side of the line for the last 5 or 10 minutes. But it's also interesting to see that there's two of the multi-hulls, a man and Concise, still haven't made it to the start line.
I think this is, with someone over the line already in only the second start, this could well be a feature of, or not a feature, it's an increasing risk for all those that start later, because as the tide starts to turn more towards, flooding towards the, going towards the west, then there's a greater possibility, especially with so little wind, of being swept over the line and not being able to get back. So starting late is infinitely preferable to being too early.
Yeah. Well, we could definitely do with some more wind, but it is still a great spectacle here in the Solent as the Rolex Fastnet race gets underway with the second start there, the big ocean-going monohulls joining the multi-hulls, who, as Ian saying, just starting Team Concise, just edging towards the line there, and Musson down behind her.
Yeah, I think Concise has now just crossed the line, and she's actually tacking onto starboard tack. And once she gets going, I'm sure she'll catch up. It's not as if Fado and Lloyd Thurberg has gone very far. They're just getting to Gernard Boy. But at this end of the line, a USA 54 Dragon with the red graphics down the side of it and the orange tops the mainsail has made a fantastic start. Andy Beadsworth doing a great job as their local knowledge there.
Any sign of the sea breeze arriving, Matt, or not?
Not really. Well, not arriving. We can see that the sea breeze developing, or at least the engine that's going to drive that sea breeze, because if anybody's looking on the island up towards the mainland, they'll see all those developing cumulus clouds with their nice darker undersides to them. That all indicates that there's plenty of hot air rising on the land. That eventually will draw in the air up the western Solent and create that sea breeze. But it is still, of course, only 12:15, and that in any day would be an early day to get a sea breeze. So this will be of benefit later on to the smaller classes, because I think the sea breeze will have built in by then.
Sam Davis, of course, on this start with France 109 Initiative Kerr. And Sam just back from the Volvo. Multi-hulls still starting. Team Concise just going across the line as they try and get some wind in the sails. Further up, France 102, the humble heroes. Redshift really just standing still there, Ian, trying to come back.
It's going to get harder to get back to the line, and also, the fleet is now sailing over the top of them. So they're in dirty air on port tack, trying desperately to get back to the start line, to get on course side, so they can start their Fastnet adventure.
So Figaro, the green trimaran, just going past Gurnard now. 0-3 on the hull there.
They've made a superb start, Simon. We're just looking across from the other end of the line, and they've managed to get into that tidal slingshot down parallel to the green. It was a fantastic spectacle for the many spectator boats that were down there, but they managed to get their nose out in front. Of course, just as I say that, the curse of the commentator, and a slight bit of breeze comes across, and you can just see how powerful, even in this light weather, that Spindrift, that giant 130-foot try is, because she just got a slight zephyr breeze and accelerated, and as Figaro has now stopped, Spindrift has now accelerated and is starting to overhaul her.
So the IMOCA60s, Class 40s and Figaro's starting just gently bobbing over the line as the helicopters buzz over the Solent. The start sequence for the Rolex Fastnet race 2015 underway, and next we have IRC4.